Behind the drama of Hardcore Pawn, the Gold family and cast have lived lives you won't believe.
We're pawnbrokers that happen to be on TV. The uniqueness of our situation is the American jewelry and loan business.
Hardcore Pawn brought chaos, cash, and controversy into Detroit's pawn world. But what happened to Les, Ashley, and the cast?
I'm trying to get $1,200, and I guarantee you I'll be back for these.
What are we looking to do?
We're looking to sell it if we can.
How could you do that? How could you do that?
And this is where it all began. In 1998, a TV producer named Richard Janick was flipping through channels when something caught his eye. Not a big Hollywood actor, not a flashy ad, just a local commercial from Detroit. On screen was Les Gold, loud, confident, and full of energy that jumped right through the TV. You didn't just see him, you felt him. Janick never forgot that moment. But here's the thing. It took more than 10 years for that little ad to turn into a real show. True TV finally said yes, and in 2009, they gave the green light to what would become Hardcore Pawn. When it premiered on August 16, 2010, it was a hit. 2 million people watched that first night alone, the biggest debut in True TV's history. And it made sense. The shop, American Jewelry, and Loan had been a Detroit landmark since 1978. By the time the camera showed up, it was already famous. Inside, you could feel the city's energy. People arguing over deals, cash changing hands, jewelry piling up on the counter, and tension in the air. What would you do if you were standing across from someone like Les? Bold, no nonsense, running a pawn shop empire with a camera on him every second? That energy pulled viewers in right away and set the stage for everything that followed.
Get out of the store.
If I'm gonna sue
Get
you,
out
I
of the
want
store.
my paperwork
Get out
back.
of the store.
Give me my paperwork, bro.
Don't grab my arm, man. My arm is... Hey, what are you doing with my phone, man?
Take off.
We take care of it the way we need.
And here's where it gets real. By 1993, American Jewelry and Loan had moved into a huge 50,000 square foot space on 8 Mile Road. Walking in, you felt the energy straight away. On a busy day, around 1,000 people came through the doors. Shoppers, hustlers, desperate customers, collectors, all bargaining and arguing. Hardcore Pawn captured that chaos on camera. Fights broke out, tempers flared, and security guards were constantly pulling people out while the cameras rolled. You could hear the shouting, the clatter of gold chains on counters, and the sharp sound of a deal being made, or refused. It wasn't clean or calm. Unlike Pawn Stars, which focused on rare items and polite talks, this was raw, messy, emotional, and real. Les Gold's idea was simple: show the business as it actually was. No hiding the ugly parts. Detroit was a city where money was tight and emotions ran high. Les believed being honest with customers and viewers alike was what made the shop stand out. And that tension, that was the heart of Hardcore Pawn. What would you do if you were behind that counter, face to face with someone desperate, angry, and ready to shout at you? That's what kept viewers watching. The numbers backed it up. By June 2013, Hardcore Pawn was pulling in more than 3 million viewers per episode. The 6th season finale drew 3.4 million, the biggest audience True TV had ever had at that time. It wasn't just the fights or the big personalities, it was all of it together. Viewers were hooked on every argument, every tense moment, every dramatic showdown. Hardcore Pawn became the top unscripted show in its Tuesday time slot, beating out every competitor. People loved it because it felt real. You weren't watching actors read lines, you were watching a real family, a real business, and a real city under pressure, with real money and real consequences on the line. Have you ever watched a reality show and felt your heart race just seeing two people argue over a silver coin or a gold chain? That's what Hardcore Pawn did to people. The mix of raw emotion, big personalities, and high stakes was hard to beat.
It's not just a wine press, it's the story. His family came over from Italy and passed it down from generation to generation. That's the kind of thing that sells.
But just when it seemed unstoppable, things started to slip. By 2014, the ratings that had once been so high began to drop. Fewer viewers were tuning in, and people started asking questions. Was Hardcore Pawn really as real as it claimed? Some episodes looked too set up, too neat, and critics were quick to say so. Then came a big change. Rich Pyle, one of the most recognizable faces on the show, left to host Meltdown on National Geographic. Fans felt that loss. Rich had been a big part of what made the show fun to watch. Without him, something was missing. Behind the scenes, True TV was already moving in a new direction. Chris Lynn became president in 2014 and decided the channel needed a lighter, funnier feel. Shows built on tension and drama no longer fit the plan. Impractical Jokers, with its pranks and laughs, became the model for the new True TV. Hardcore Pawn was still getting viewers, but the network had changed what it wanted. And for the show, that meant its best days were behind it.
So I wouldn't be interested in it. This watch isn't a name brand, and it's not real silver or gold.
Not even gonna offer nothing on it?
There's no value to it. I'm sorry. At new, they probably were $25.
But Les Gold wasn't slowing down. Between 2019 and 2021, he made moves that showed he could turn TV fame into real business success. He personally negotiated new pawn shop locations in Southgate, Lincoln Park, and Hazel Park, using the Gold name to get good lease deals. He didn't send someone else. Les showed up, sat at the table, and got it done. The expansion created nearly 200 jobs across Wayne County, giving something back to the community that had watched him on TV for years. And Les didn't just focus on money. Back in 2016, he surprised everyone by appearing on Chopped. Lessons from growing up in Detroit and his grandfather's Mediterranean recipes came through in his cooking. He treated every challenge in the kitchen like a business deal. Think fast, be bold, don't panic. Charity was also part of the story. In December 2022, he raised $40,000 for the Heat and Warmth Fund through Hardcore Thaw, a charity auction held at the Detroit store. Les ran it the same way he ran the shop, fast, confident, and in control. It wasn't about showing off. It was about helping people get through a tough Michigan winter. Through all of this, Les proved one thing. He kept making an impact long after the camera stopped rolling. But then came a serious setback. In 2018, a business fraud cost him $500,000, and rumors of bankruptcy started spreading. Fans and critics wondered if the pawn empire had finally cracked under pressure. Les put those rumors to rest. By 2025, his businesses were still running and turning a profit, and his net worth held steady at around $5 million. He also added another achievement. His book, For What It's Worth, reached number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list. It was an honest look at his life, the shop, and the real story behind Hardcore Pawn. Not just about money, but about staying tough and keeping your business alive no matter what stands in your way. Have you ever faced a setback that felt impossible to come back from? Les's story shows that with focus, determination, and a bit of boldness, turning things around is possible, even in a city as tough as Detroit.
Hey, I'm Seth Gold, hanging out at A-Pawn USA here in Claremont, Florida. I expect a great day. Lots of people come through the door to check out this awesome pawn shop.
Now let's talk about Seth Gold, the son who brought the family business into the modern age. When Seth joined American Jewelry and Loan in 2009, he had fresh ideas that sometimes clashed and sometimes worked well with his father's old-school way of doing things. He noticed a gap. The shop had almost no online presence. Seth took a chance. He built the shop's first online store, putting the inventory on the internet. Some people doubted it would work, but by 2018, online sales made up 30% of total revenue. That wasn't a small side project. It was a real change. Seth kept going. He opened new locations in Hazel Park and Pontiac, helping the business grow by 20% each year. His efforts paid off in 2013 when he was named National Pawnbroker of the Year. A big deal, especially for someone stepping out from under his father's shadow. But Seth wasn't only focused on profit. He co-created Power to the Grid, a program that helped people with autism find real jobs by matching their skills to the right roles. In 2019, he launched Fast Pawn with PawnMate Incorporated, letting customers renew loans and make payments online, making the whole experience faster and easier. Seth's thinking was clear. Modern tools could improve the pawn industry without losing the personal touch that made the Gold family special. With every move he made, Seth showed that new ideas and old traditions can work side by side, bringing the shop into the 21st century while keeping the spirit of Detroit alive.
Diamond chips in them. I sell them for under $50. I'm not interested in buying them because I sell them for under $50.
Under $50.
And here's a story that really shows the cost of reality TV. Ashley Gold appeared in all 162 episodes of Hardcore Pawn between 2010 and 2015. She worked alongside her father Les and her brother Seth every day, but the constant fighting on set wasn't just for the cameras, it spilled into her real life too. Ashley described her experience as a Groundhog Day. The same arguments, the same clothes, the same chaos day after day. The stress was taking a toll on her health, her family, and her sense of who she was. By 2015, she knew it was time to go. But Ashley didn't walk away with nothing. She started an online jewelry business called Pawn Chick Shopping, built around things she personally chose and loved. Over time, she grew and rebranded it as ashleygold.com, traveling across the country to find the latest trends and working with celebrities. She became a trusted voice in fashion and retail. She made appearances on Good Morning America, CNN, HLN, Fox News, and The Today Show. In March 2019, she launched her podcast, Pawn Chick, where she spoke openly about the stage drama behind Hardcore Pawn, including how producers push cast members to argue in order to make the show more exciting. Then came 2020 and the pandemic. Schools closed, kids were learning from home, and Ashley was juggling homeschooling, carpooling, and running a growing business all at once. It was real pressure, nothing like the TV kind, and she handled it with determination. Ashley proved that walking away from the drama didn't mean losing your platform, it just meant taking control of it yourself.
I came in today and I don't even know if I have a job still. I wanted to talk about what happened.
Oh, look who's back.
What's going on, Reg? What's going on?
Hi, Rich.
How are you? How are you, Ash? Figured I'd talk to Les now that the ball cooled down and see what the hell.
And now, the story of a longtime insider. Rich Pyle had been a familiar face on Hardcore Pawn for years. By 2012, he was a big part of the show's personality and energy. But behind the scenes, things were going wrong. An internal review found that he had misused company credit cards and made inflated refund requests. Lise confronted him on camera, and in a tense few minutes, a 25-year friendship came to an end. Rich left the show and the shop at the same time. He tried to start fresh in Los Angeles with a small gold business, but it didn't work out. Still, Rich wasn't the type to sit still. In 2018, he took on a new role hosting a show for the American Cornhole League. His on-camera experience and natural charm helped bring energy to a very different world. His wife Tracy helped film everything as Rich built a new chapter, far from the chaos of the pawn shop. It showed that even after a very public fall, starting over is possible, just in a new place with a new crowd.
Has headphones on there that you can listen to your favorite music.
I see it works really well on you.
Well, I didn't use the thing. I'm very happy being bald.
And now, the story of someone who turned one opportunity into a busy career. Bobby Janick walked into American Jewelry and Loan just looking for a job handling t-shirts and merchandise. He had no idea cameras were rolling or that he was about to be pulled into the world of reality TV. After Rich Pyle left, Bobby's energy and quick thinking made him a natural fit for the screen. Producers liked him. His charm, humor, and willingness to get stuck into the drama earned him regular airtime. But it wasn't all fun. It was work under constant pressure, with every argument and deal filmed for millions of viewers. When the camera stopped in 2015, Bobby didn't disappear. He used his on-screen experience to land a job with Bars Products, earning $175,000 a year, more than double what he made at the pawn shop. He also did voiceovers for Michigan radio to keep his skills sharp. In 2021, he made a bold move by starting an OnlyFans account that gained over 15,000 subscribers, paying around $30 a month. Some fans were shocked and felt let down, but Bobby called it a business decision, a way to control his income after years of unpredictable pay in reality TV. Then in 2023, Warner Bros. Discovery sent him a 12-page cease and desist letter for using show footage without permission. Bobby quickly removed all Hardcore Pawn content from his pages, but the episode highlighted a fine line between using your fame and owning the content that made you famous. Bobby's story shows how far you can go when you grab opportunities, take risks, and stay in control of your own path, even if it surprises people along the way.
What the f? My wasn't like this when I brought my boy in here. What's up with all these mother scratches and boy? You better clean my off, because when I brought my in here, my was A1. Go get me some mother Windex and some tissue, and let's do this right. You better give me that mother.
And then there's Joel Big Joe. Shannon, the man Les relied on more than anyone. Joel had been head of security for years and was practically family. But in 2012, hidden cameras caught him stealing while the show was being filmed. He was fired on the spot and charged with felony theft. A shock to Les and a blow to the business. But Joel's story didn't end there. In 2016, he started fresh with High Gear Transportation in Livonia, Michigan. He began with just 2 trucks and kept building. By 2023, he had 15 trucks and more than 20 employees, serving clients across the Midwest. Trust with the Gold family slowly came back. Seth Gold began using High Gear for deliveries between stores. It wasn't quick forgiveness. It took nearly 3 years. But Joel's hard work and reliability eventually won them over. Joel's story is a classic comeback, a very public fall followed by years of quiet effort, proving that even after a serious betrayal, a second chance is possible. Then there's Fielding Tickman, known as Felix, the fan favorite who always seemed calm in the middle of the store's chaos. Viewers trusted him because he had a way of cooling down fights and settling disputes. But behind the scenes, things weren't so smooth. In 2015, Felix asked for a pay rise to reflect how much his role had grown. The production company said no, talks got tense fast, and by February, he walked off set, leaving the crew and cast to pick up the pieces. Felix eventually moved to Austin, Texas, staying away from interviews and the public eye. He left the pawn shop world behind and chose a quieter private life over the drama of reality TV. His story is a reminder that even on a show built around conflict, real-life pressures hit differently, and sometimes walking away is the only move that makes sense. Looking back, Hardcore Pawn left a mark that reached far beyond Detroit. Where Pawn Stars focused on rare finds and calm deals, Hardcore Pawn ran on drama, tension, and big personalities. It showed the raw, emotional side of the pawn world. Angry customers, high-pressure negotiations, and moments that were impossible to predict. The show also helped shape reality TV. Producers saw that viewers loved real tension and strong characters, and that influenced many shows that came after. The cast found different ways to use their fame, starting businesses, building online platforms, making media appearances, and taking some unexpected paths along the way. Hardcore Pawn proved that reality TV can be messy and controversial, but it can also launch careers, build businesses, and leave a lasting mark on the entertainment world.
You're just pissed off right now, so take
about
a step back.
If he f***s up again, he's out of here. How much do we end up giving those girls for the gold?
We didn't give him anything.
And here's what Hardcore Pawn really teaches us beyond the on-screen chaos. Fame versus personal life. Ashley's story shows how constant filming and drama can wear you down. Walking away wasn't giving up, it was taking her life back. Opportunity versus fairness. Bobby's story shows the gap between getting exposure and getting paid fairly. Cast members helped bring in millions of viewers, but the money mostly went to the family, forcing people to make tough choices about their own worth. Adaptation. Seth moved the business forward with online sales, fast pawn, and digital platforms. Les opened new stores, used his TV fame wisely, and tried new things like Chopped and charity events. Keeping up with change was everything. Resilience, Rich Pyle and Big Joe Shannon both show that scandals and firings don't have to be the end. Both rebuilt, found new paths, and proved that staying determined can turn a low point into a fresh start. Hardcore Pawn gives a rare look behind the cameras, a reminder that reality TV isn't just staged drama. These are real people, making real choices and living with real consequences. In the end, the story of 8 Mile Road is about more than pawn deals and arguments. It's about ambition, risk, reinvention, and the very human side of reality TV. Hardcore Pawn may be over, but its legacy lives on. Les, Seth, and Ashley all found new paths forward. The cast reinvented themselves, and the drama that played out on 8 Mile Road remains hard to forget. A true example of perseverance, reinvention, and the real stories that hide behind reality TV.